What's poppin', everybody? Another live stream. We are just about an hour and a half away from week one kickoff. You know what that means, boys. It's going to be a hell of a day. Went through a bunch of best bets on stream on Friday, but I have a lot of stuff that I have, I guess you could say, researched independently. Obviously, using Pick the Odds, we'll go through some EV, maybe find some pregame arbs, but definitely we'll be finding some best bets for today's slate. I have a bunch of stuff that I played already on Friday, like I mentioned. I will pull those up and talk about what we did bet. Numbers aren't really there, so let me quickly get the promo out like I always do for the boys, and then I will let you know what we already bet, and we'll look at the prices on that, and then we'll finalize the rest of everything. We'll get after it. So about an hour here. Going to go for an hour until around kickoff, and let's get it. But the first bet, we're on the money line market here. Pick the Odds, of course. Amazing tool. Live EV, live ARBs that we're going to take advantage of. Or actually, I'll be taking advantage of during today's slate. I would recommend you guys do the same as well. But seeing a lot of movement here. So Falcons, I bet at plus 120. That's unfortunately no longer available. Let me make sure everybody can see here. Lots of movement here. Let's pull up the chart and Pick the Odds, the real-time odd history, and see where everything has moved. Yeah, damn. I bet this at like weeks ago at 120. Don't get me wrong. I can actually find the exact date just for transparency's sake. But we're talking a minute ago on August 9th. All right. So we can get to August 9th on Pick the Odds. We'll have to go back. Unfortunately, no point of doing that. But let's look at like just really the past 24 hours on how this thing has moved. Absolutely just massive movement. Look at Circa here. Days unavailable. Okay, Bookmaker. Yeah, that was plus money. Now it's up to like the minus 112. So I can't really say to take the Falcons at this point in the market. Beating NFL game lines are always difficult, especially this close to kickoff. So trust me, we're going to focus on some of the stuff that we still definitely can beat. And just wanted to be transparent about what I did bet so far. But if you're on stream with me on Friday, prices were available when we got in. Colts minus 108. Unfortunately, that's not available either. I bet it at FanDuel. This is a game that I think is going to be a pros versus Joes. I saw the great guys at Prime Sportsbook. They released kind of like their sharp report per se, like what they needed versus what they, where they got their sharp action from and what bets that they need for the remainder of the slate. And they claim that their biggest pros versus Joes game was actually this pros on the Falcons and squares on the Dolphins. Again, obviously anything can happen in the National Football League. Not sitting here saying I'm a pro or anything like that, but glad to be potentially on the right side there. But where I might be on the wrong side, they said a lot of pro action also was on the Patriots. I bet the Raiders are plus 130. Plus 131 is still available at Penny. And it's now available at DraftKings again. I mean, listen, you want to ride with your boy. This plus 130 at DK is still absolutely bettable to me. But with that being said, of course, definitely trusting the sharp moves that they set over at Prime Sports. So that's what I bet from a game line perspective. I also bet the under in Giants commies. Let's pull that total. That was minus 105 at 45.5. Which at Penny you can get the best price there at a rec book. At Novig, actually, you can get that at a rec book, ESPN, but Novig got the best price with very good liquidity there. So if you're not a Novig user, promo code BetSmart will get you started. You'll get a purchase match up to $25 for free, so a free 25 bones if you deposit 25 bones with promo code BetSmart. But let's focus on some fun stuff. There's a lot of movement in the market all day long. There's a lot of stuff that I did bet already. I'm going to go through what I played just to see if you guys can get in as well. And we're going to be using like market numbers I still think are good. And I actually want to start with a look at my plus EV. So I did do a little bit of a fix per se on what I think my EV calc should be for some of these NFL markets, but there's a lot of stuff to like so far. So I'm going to ignore some tennis and whatnot. If you find a good tennis or a good baseball, of course, money is green, even though it's NFL Sunday. But we're going to definitely be trying to maximize some NFL bets. Cade Otton. So this is. I saw he was banged up, but still at Novik 326. So I guess this isn't actually there anymore. So we'll ignore that. Tennis, a lot of live tennis here. We'll try to find some NFL here. We'll go through the odds screen and traditionally break down the NFL. I talked about all the games in great detail on Friday. Chat's open for any and all questions from the boys about quite literally anything. But yeah, we're seeing a lot of EV all over the place. Josh Allen under rushing attempts, 6.5. I feel like this is not a great bet. Plus 115 at WinBet 116. Market average is 106 though, so there is some value at Caesars. Let's see if this feed is still working here. No, at one point there was a little bit of issues with Caesars, but no, this is still widely available at Caesars, and that's not a ghost line. There's some EV there. I'm not going to bet that though because I just feel like that's not gonna hit. But from an expected value standpoint, I'm using some bias, which is never a good thing, but going to be transparent about bias versus market averages and stuff like that. But Brian Thomas under 5.5 Rex, Hard Rock. I'm going to go back to the odds screen. I will build an NFL only view just so for Sundays we can kind of keep the main thing. I know that again, money is green. So yeah, it's NFL Sunday. That could be making up some edges in MLB prop markets or some live tennis or some other books or sports, I should say, that are probably just underserviced. But obviously the love is for the National Football League. So we'll try to get some free money on some of those other sports as well, but we'll try to keep it. I'll have a view for all my EV and also a view just for NFL for for the sake of the banter. But we looked at some TDs this past week, and I bet a bunch of TDs this morning at some good prices. So let's see what we can find. We'll go to the player prop view. We'll go game by game here, and we'll look at some touchdowns, first tutties. But one of the prices or players that I love from like a my analysis standpoint, and then the market was confirming that, is David Njoku. We talked about him a little bit on the show Friday when we were live, but this 285 here, market average 217, you see here 1.82% expected return, better price than FanDuel, Novig, ESPN lagging there, better price than Penny as well. But this as a straight bet, I absolutely recommend. For transparency here, though, the bet tracker is still in beta. I will track this bet, but we look at the line history now. It's gone like the opposite way you'd want to see as a better. Like you see here, like it's increased by more than 5%, but from my numbers, this actually, and also the market average, has actually just created more expected value for us on this bet, which I think, a week one, obviously I trust the market always, but week one perspective, I think that this is actually absolutely a really good bet to make. So I'll track it on PTO here. I'll write it down. So when I stream next week, which I'm streaming tomorrow night, boys, as we know, but Sunday streams, I wrote down everything that I like from Friday, and then that we played that I like, but now we're locking in Njoku anytime touchdown plus 285, and we'll track it on PTO though. Again, bet tracker still in beta, but David Njoku is a massive look for me. And another guy that I actually really like that we talked about, and the price is still there. It's not going to be anything that's so expected. So there's a ton of liquidity on the under for Chase Brown, which is interesting here on the 108 circuit with the best price. But if you are looking at the over, minus 122 at profit, not a lot of liquidity, but the 125 here at DraftKings and ESPN, I think is absolutely worth looking at. Talked about this at the same price on Friday, but I like Chase Brown as well. So Chase Brown anytime tutty, minus 125, expected workhorse. But the sneaky pick for me here for this whole game included is Samaje Perine. This 10-1 at FanDuel is better than when I saw that earlier, and it just jumped there to 12-1. So maybe some information just came in, and I could be holding a bad ticket. If that is what happened, I'm pulling up underdog quickly. Not losing sleep over bad ticket, but Rap Cheat just tweeted actually. Nick Chubb expected to be the bell cow. We'll pull up that game quickly because I already bet Nick Chubb tutty, and if you guys can capitalize on that quickly. Now it doesn't mean he's going to score a touchdown by any means. Don't get me wrong, but I was all over it. I want to see the price just for transparency's sake of what I bet it at. I have it written down, or I have the bet slip open on my other laptop. I took a lot of stuff today, boys, so bear with me here. But I bet Chubb anytime Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? So many bet slips. Holy moly. DraftKings. I bet on DraftKings. Chubb at plus 235. So this plus 220 is still intriguing. Plus 234 at Sport Trade New Jersey. I think this 220 is still definitely bettable. We'll confirm if it's available on FanDuel still right now. Just going to make sure, but let's see. 220. I think it's still worth it, even with that news. I think this might be slow and it just moved on us. So, from an EV standpoint, they're still better than the market average. So maybe it is still worth getting in. I know you guys probably don't want to be, or I should say, we all don't want to be chasing. But I'll write down for Chubb. I'll take it at 200. Anytime touchdown, I'll write that down as a play, and I'll track at PTO here. But pre news, I'm lucky I got in. I honestly, I can't say I have like inside info or anything like that because that's just not true. But like my thought process on this, and with like my projections for probability and also just devigging, was that being who he is, an older back that's coming off the injury, my thought process was that he's just gonna get run into the ground early because he's going to be the most spry, even though he's coming off the injuries now, rather than week 12, 13, so on, because he's had all summer practicing, etc. Texans RB room and O-line obviously not great, but would be lying if I didn't say I didn't feel at least the slightest bit validated here that my thought process was at least right, and not from the market telling me that. That's also great, but from the fact that they're going out and saying this, that he's going to be the bell cow in week one. Whether that happens is TBD. But I actually have him in a fantasy league and hate to do this, but like real quick, I'm probably going to put him in my starting lineup. I like him to score in the first place. I mean, it's Waddle versus Chubb. I'm still probably going to rip. I mean, I like the Dolphins. I mean, I like the Colts, I should say. I'm sending Nick Chubb week one. I'm riding the guts there. That's for the boys right there. Digress aside, we don't have a ton of time before kickoff, boys. So let's keep ripping here. We'll go back to the game by game view. So Panthers Jags. I'm going to shout out to Hitman here. He talked about this play yesterday on the Hammer stream. Big fan of their platform and the Hitman's work. Great sports bettor. But I saw this like concept a few weeks ago, or I should say a few days ago. But Trevor Lawrence rushing, he's run the ball more frequently with Liam Cohen as his OC, or such like quarterbacks have with Liam Cohen. We know Lawrence is athletic, but I bet his over 19.5 at plus 122 at FanDuel. Play Now Sports has the best price there. I don't know, but Rivers a 123 if you have a Rivers account. Bet Jack as well. Alternate line, but I like Lawrence. 20 plus rush yards. Of course, there could be some more EV actually at the minus 110 at 16.5 because this one has definitely bounced around a little bit. But I'll write the Lawrence 20 plus rush yards alt line plus 122. Shout out to Hitman though. Again, definitely some confirmation bias clearly, but I was liking that. I saw a tweet about Liam Cohen's usage to get in. Heard him talk about it on his stream yesterday. So out of respect to a colleague I respect, of course, playing that. I went and also got that in. So shout out to Hitman. Let's keep ripping. What else did I bet? I have my slips open here. We'll keep going game by game. I didn't bet anything else on this one, I don't think. I know there's a lot of love for Tutton, their rookie running back. How much will he play is TBD, especially when they do have some good backs. He's on the Jags here, but 850. This is a good bet. I think I saw it, as you see, it's as low as 375 at MGM and 365, which obviously aren't sharp books. I got Tutton. Actually, I missed the number because I saw some movement and I actually stayed away just because I didn't get there. But I think this is a good bet. Plus 850 compared to the market. As you see, Novig there, DraftKings and FanDuel. Just such an outlier. I'll even go ahead and track and write down here. ESPN is in NY, so you saw that. You saw that drop. ESPN is sleeping at the wheel a little bit there. So at 7-1, I'm going to have to say, unfortunately, pass. I don't know if anybody's able to get in. We'll move on because we don't want to waste some time on some spilt milk there. But unfortunately, Unfortunately, can't track that there, but it's a great try. Hate to go backtrack, so I'm trying to get everything that I bet in every game at the same time, but I also did bet Njoku first, Tutty. Let's see if the price is still available that I liked it at and that I got it at. Maybe there's a better price. We'll see how everything moved here. I got it at 18 to 1, actually. The 16 to 1 is definitely less appealing, but the 17 to 1 at Fanatics still has EV. So if you're a Fanatics bettor, have that an account there. I still think it's good at 17 to 1. And the anytime at who I wrote it down. I'm looking at what I wrote down. That's definitely not the price. 255. I bet it at 285, but whatever we tracked it at. Yep, keep rocking here. So Raiders Patriots. This is a game where I mentioned that the great bookmakers at Sharps at Prime Sports, which is definitely a sharper shop, said the Raiders were a square pick this week, and the Patriots were a sharper bet. I bet the Raiders already. The market was telling me that. Clearly, some sharp reaction was there. I don't think I bet any tutties in this one, actually. So I'm just doing a scroll. I did not. So we'll keep it moving. So here's a game where I actually bet a ton of tutties despite having the under. But I think the fact that I like the under just allowed a lot of expected value to be had on some of these overs for anytime tuts. And that's Combies Giants. I bet Eckler weeks ago on stream, so that price is definitely long gone. Yeah, I bet like 235, boys. So DLV trash can ticket tweet insert. I know Mr. Sharapan. I hope is doing well. If you guys are familiar with DS Sharapan, going through some stuff. Love that man. He always posts that ticket or that tweet of a picture of a Las Vegas trash can that says CLV on it. It's just a garbage can. That always makes me crack up. But I'm holding a massive CLV ticket there. But there are so many players from this game that I actually bet. This was a hitman play as well. It was Singletary. This 650 at Fanatics is definitely bettable. I think it's probably even better than the price he bet it. It's better than the price I bet it. I did bet this 550, but of course, bet that 650 if you can and are interested. He's just projecting Singletary to be the lead goal line back, not the lead back. So I saw some EV as well. So I bet that, though, of course, the Fanatics has a little bit more EV, just a little bit as well. Another player that I bet early is Tracy at 160. Hasn't moved in my favor, 165 at Circa, so maybe a bad bet, unfortunately, but is something I played already. So since it's still available, I will track here and write down Tracy TD plus 160. I'm not going to track the Eckler again because that price that I bet it at is just wrong, and I wouldn't bet it at that price now. But there are a couple of things that popped up that I do like. Debo plus 240. I think that's better than what I got it at. I'm gonna see. I have my bet slips open on my other computer, so I just want to make sure for transparency's sake. I got 235. It's 240, so there is more EV now. 191 market average, better than Circa. I do like the under, so it's tough to say, but I will track actually this as well. Debo ATTS plus 240. I bet the 235, so I'll lose more if it does come through. But there was 85 showed some EV at ESPN. Yeah, that was 210 for like a hot sec. At 185, it's just not really worth it anymore. So if you guys were using PTO earlier, as you should be, because you can use all of its functionality for absolutely free. You missed. I mean, I missed it too. I actually didn't get in, but that's a good price. And as somebody who has the under, I'm like, come on, why am I showing so much EV for some tutties in this game? But there's one more player I wanted to look at, and that is Mr. Luke McCaffrey. 22 to 1, I think, is a good price. If you have Hard Rock, it's the best price. A lot of question marks about what his role will be in this offense, considering he is a second-year player, did not play a ton or do anything really productive last year. If you're a coach speak guy, which I think so far so good on some of the coach speak stuff in terms of like how accurate some of it has been. I'm buying it at 22 to 1 for a anytime tutty for a Luke McCaffrey. So I actually will even go ahead and track this. I wish we could track some like Corey Kelly staking there. PTO when they do drop bet tracking will be insane. I can't wait. Like I've said a few times, I was able to speak to the head of the team there and like what their plans are for it. Oh my god, sick. So this is it for this game. I did also bet Eckler scrimmage yards, but that was weeks ago. I know the price isn't there, so I'm not gonna again harp on that. So have a lot of looks in this one that I like from an EV standpoint to score, but as somebody holding the under, um, it's not crazy high. Um, actually, there's one more now that I'm thinking about it, and it was a Russ anytime 8-1 here, better than the market average at DraftKings. I will actually track this as well. So if I do lose the under, hopefully I can hit some Russ TD plus 800. Hopefully hit some something nice from the TD perspective as well. But this is a lot of stuff that I like for this one. Let's keep rocking, boys. Bucks Falcons. So I bet there's a bunch of good stuff generally speaking. Just making sure because I have all my slips open. Won't want to miss out on anything. Okay, so this one, first Huddy. It's not going to be sexy. You guys already can probably tell where I'm going with that based on that, little introduction there. Bijan, it was 6,500 when I bet it. 475 at Rivers though, still showing value for a Bijan first Huddy, so I'll write it down. And I'm writing it all down again just because the bet tracking doesn't stay after 2 days, and I don't think I stream with PTO until Wednesday, but I will be streaming tomorrow for Monday Night Football, of course. But it's a fun one that I bet, and there was some EV to its actual anytime. It's long gone actually. It was minus 150 when I saw it, so not gonna belabor anything there. But another player I caught my eye was Egbuka at 250. Egbuka, forgot which book I bet it at. We're gonna, of course, confirm. I bet Egbuka anytime at DraftKings, and the price was Egbuka Tutty. Again, I have so much open here. I was betting EV, it's the fun. It's just not a ton of EV on these touchdowns. They're not great bets, so I'm not sitting there saying that I'm building these sharpest tickets ever all the time. Though at 250, I see value, as you can see with the market average 199, circa 2 FanDuel, 2 Novig, and Profit. This is me via my boy Emeka Egbuka on the the Buckeye. I'm going to track that as well. So Egbuka ATTS plus 250. So we have again a bunch of just like fun bets. It's week one. These are like quarter Kelly stakes at high. This like 0.5 units, maybe 0.6 at most for some of them, all the way down to like 0.2, 0.3. So definitely intrigued by Mr. Egbuka in this offense. I am on the Falcons money line, though of course he's a Buccaneer with the high total and the Falcons defense. I mean, as much as I'm like, I won't say down on Tampa because that's not totally true. I am high on Atlanta, which could be the dumbest thing ever, potentially. We'll find out with, rookie QB. Though I do think that Mr. Penix is going to be a good football player. Just making sure I'm talking about everybody so I don't do any backtracking here, but I think that's all I have in this one. And yes, it is. I have the Egbuka touchdown, Falcons money line. So let's ride there. Let's see. Talked about Cardinals Saints. So I talked about Michael Wilson touchdown as well as let me show my notes here. Michael Wilson touchdown and Trey McBride touchdown. Trey McBride, we'll start with first. 207 at Novig with very good liquidity. So if you again don't have a Novig, it's amazing. They have released their desktop interface. It looks amazing. Plus, what was the price here? Come on, BTO. Plus 207 with really good liquidity. That's the best price in market, and there is some EV there. So I definitely would look at Trey McBride touchdown. I bet it at I didn't write down the price on Friday. I'm a scumbag. It's showing under, so that's not correct. That should be over, of course. But I like this price at Novik. If you only have DK 205, but if you don't have Novik, promo code BetSmart, you get a purchase match, and it's an absolutely amazing platform to trade on exchange. So give me McBride, Michael Wilson, under the radar. I wrote it down at plus 450, so it actually has gone up and against me. But at 475, there's just more EV, so I'm not shying away from Michael Wilson. So Wilson ATTS plus 475, and McBride ATTS plus 207. And there is one Saint I bet as well here. And it's a fun one. It's the burner. It's Mr. Rashid Shaheed at 370. So that price is still available at DK. I like it. It's at 381 at WinBet if you have a WinBet. If it's available in your state, something that I would look at as well. But yeah, I'm a fan of this. I will track this one as well. It's showing under. So again, the write down, but I do like the over here. I think I like the full game over, but I think it's going to be a slower first half potentially. I didn't bet anything on that side there, but these are some tutties that I think I like. And I know, again, great content over at the Hammer. Rob Pizzola was a big fan of the over, if I'm not mistaken here. I think it was him on the show. And I trust, I love listening to Rob for some confirmation bias, but Steelers Jets, obviously an ugly one, but there were 2 touchdowns that stuck out to me. And it was actually probably a relatively obvious one. We talked about Breece Hall on Friday. We did bet him in a parlay, so I did not bet him straight. 188 circa. It was not a straight bet that I took. But something I did take, this madman, but I did not bet this. I bet this. I actually got 20-1. It moved against me. I did drop my no sweat on it, though, so not losing sleep. But I think Justin Fields is 22-1 for 2+ tutties is great. If the Steelers do come out and are firing, you know that Fields is going to be trying to score some garbage time nonsense. Total is very low. We know he's not a great thrower of the football, and this could be an easy 13-7 kind of game, but there's only 2 touchdowns scored in the entire one, or even one. But Fields 2 TDs. I saw some pretty good EV at around 10% at 20-1. So 22-1, of course, is probably up to 13-14%. So I locked in Fields 2 tutties. But that's all I took for this one. Actually, that's not true. There's one more player. We're going deep down the board. Not talking about any of the general, guys you'd expect. We're talking about Josh Reynolds, 850, 900 at PointsBet CA, which again, I'm guessing that's Canada. If you still have a PointsBet in Canada, I'm sure you're watching this stream. You're probably limited to all hell there, as I was as well. Quick digression. This is probably 4 football seasons ago at this point. I was doing a show that was sponsored by PointsBet. So this is before I think they were bought, or if they went under. I don't remember exactly what the situation was with how they transpired, but it was 4 years ago. They were my show sponsor for the entire NFL season. The second the NFL season ended, all my accounts were limited. The sponsorship ended. I don't remember if it was they got bought and then it was ended, but it was quite literally February happened. We did the Super Bowl show. I went to bet some college football 3 days, or college basketball 3 days later. Toast. My account was toast, and obviously didn't have a sponsor from them after that at that point. But funny anecdote from my time with PointsBet when they were operational in New York. Literally, stream the second the I think we did have a contract. They were our sponsor, so we did have a contract. The second the contract expired, limited. Not fun there. I'm looking for the price I got on Reynolds just to make sure, because it was I took a fun ass bet on Reynolds. Let's see, looking at my bet slip. Sorry for this. I would be showing it on my DraftKings here, but in order for me to bet, because I think my computer, I might have accidentally disabled it, because on this computer, even pre-stream was giving me problems with location, but my other computer was not. Normally it was happening during stream, so I thought it was a stream only issue. But I got Reynolds actually at 10-1 plus 850 though. Honestly, it's probably negative EV, so I hate to again talk about some stuff that's not there, but that is just the facts of the matter. Dolphins Colts. Okay. I'm on the Colts, 108, not really available anymore. Maybe you guys can get in live if somebody scores early. But there were some touchdowns that I took in this one, and I did a little bit of a double dip on my good friend Danny Dimes. Plus 290, I think, is actually better than what I got it at. I think I got 280. But regardless, I like Daniel Jones to score. I think that he's going to be a lot more comfortable in the Steichen offense. I think he's going to have a good day throwing the rock as well. We bet 80 Mitchell on Friday's stream at 6-1. Let's just see if that's there for the vibes. FanDuel reminding me I've been logged in for 180 minutes and what I bet. Thanks for that. The 6-1 still there. Showing some EV though, it's available at a bunch of books. So I normally like to DVig to at least some FanDuel for my tutties, but bet at Friday. What are you gonna do? I lean to the over here as well, but not gonna waste time on a lean there. But I also bet a first touchdown in this one. But we're going back to my boy, Mr. Dimes. How you doing? Oh God. I think I got. Oh no, I bet the 14-1 at DK. It's still there if you have a Play Now Sports, and that just jumped up. Let's just pull it up. It's at 18-1. Obviously, it's a lot sexier and definitely some more EV to what I saw. And again, we're talking about, an anytime TV market anyway. That isn't going to be a first touchdown market, which again, calculating EV there is going to be tough. But if we're talking straight market, this 18-1. I missed out on some cents. I'm double dipping, honestly, right now on my other computer. Give me a hot second here. Why? Because it's week on the NFL. If we're talking like I'm betting a couple of bucks on, first touchdown, but that just shot up, and now it's just showing a lot of value compared to the market. So, listen, am I dumb? Oh, it just went back to 16-1, as you see on the bet slip. So I'm actually not going to double it. Actually, maybe I will. Now it's making me location check. Come on, DraftKings, stick with the program. We're on stream and we're trying to bet with the boys. And yeah, if you're hanging bad prices, don't blame me. So that 18-1, if anybody got in quickly, kudos to you. Going back to the market here, I'm betting it again. I don't even care. Okay. Little Danny Dimes, first tutty. I feel like I bet more in this game. I'm looking at my stuff just for transparency's sake, but actually I did not. So we have the AD Mitchell that we bet on Friday. DJ, first TD. I'll track the 16-1, and then the DJ, anytime touchdown. Plus 290. And we're sticking to some anytimes because we're doing this for some fun. I'm gonna be streaming, like I said, during the week. So like the Wednesday show, we're gonna be getting some like plus EV props as they're opening. Perfect. Ideally. And we'll go from there. But Colts money line, let's go. I have Colts in a survivor pool as well. I took them twice, just trying to be contrarian. It's a buyback league, not a big money league at all. So hence my willingness to, be a little bit of risky there. So Titans Broncos. I bet nothing in this game. This is probably the only game, like looking at who I've placed bets on. This is, I think, the only game I haven't touched anything. I'm not really upset about it. If you guys in chat want to leave a comment on who you guys played in this one, if you guys did play anybody in this one, feel free, or of course ask any questions about anything that you want to see from a game perspective as well. But I actually didn't. This is the only game I did not have any action in whatsoever. I'm not mad about it. It's all in the game. You can't bet every game on the board. Only week one you want to have stuff with every game on the board just for the fun aspect. But did not bet any Niners, Titans, Broncos whatsoever. Put a gun to my head. I am taking Cam Ward, just because I think he's gonna be sick, and that's my boy. But No, nothing stuck out to me from my EV calcs. So nothing sticks out. Nothing's EVing. EV's not EVing. Nothing wrong with saying no, thank you. But Niners Seahawks, I bet a good amount here. McCaffrey says he's playing, which is great. Does not scare me from B-Rob, and this 533 at profit is great, though very low liquidity. This 520 at FanDuel, I got a worse number, unfortunately. I got 450, so let me get back in and bet that again because I love it. I think that we know how second string RBs do so well in Mr. Shanahan's system. I do think this game is a slower paced game. It might not have a ton of scoring in it. But with that being said, I think I want to say like disrespecting B-Rob a little bit there. But I think from the market, it's a great price. The liquidity at Profit X is a little short, as you can see. And I know that might be a move that's predicated on, the McCaffrey saying I'm playing. But either way, I'm not losing sleep over that, actually. Just double down on that Fields live line. Had the 450 on Robinson. Is what it is, man. Is what it is. Not losing sleep over that. But let's keep rocking because there are some other things that I bet, and we're gonna pull up two guys here. So I bet both running backs for Seattle. I got the Walker at the 142 here at FanDuel, best price. Profit X has 149, which is actually the best price. If you're not on Profit X, use promo code BetSmart. I should know what my what the terms are when you use promo code BetSmart, but you definitely get bonus cash to use around on there or purchase match. So you guys can use code BetSmart and get going if you're not on Profit X just yet. But I bet this 142 at FanDuel, and it's available. So I will click this button right here and track that and write it down. Walker TD plus 142. I also did this. First touchdown, the 750. You see there is value to the market. I bet Walker FTD plus 750 at DK. No shame in the game. We're having some fun here with the first tutties. And I feel like I'm forgetting some things that I did bet, though I'm not. I'm looking at my slips here. Looking at my slips, Kenneth Walker, first touchdown score. 750 is actually better than the price I bet. I bet at 700 when I got it, but I still I'd like it more at 750. Of course, there was some market resistance. We're betting the first touchdown, so I'm not losing sleep over the few bones I put on that. But more importantly, in my opinion, what I'm actually a little bit more confident in is this just went to 650 over at FanDuel. Maybe somebody's watching. Charbonnet. Did not bet first, but I did bet ATD. 4-1 at FanDuel and DraftKings. I bet it at 4-1, or I think I got a little bit better, but I actually used my 50% boost on DraftKings for Sharb anytime. It was 4-1, so I got it at 6-1 with the boost. Max boost was $5, which is never fun, but that's in the game. Excuse me. I think Sharp scores. I think it's going to be a little bit of a heavy run game script from the Seahawks. I think it's going to be like that all season long, and I don't think that they're going to wean out Sharp. I think Sharp is actually really going to be the RB2. And considering I think they're going to get a ton of a big time rushing attack, I'm all in on Sharp. So Sharp anytime. That is definitely something I played. I feel like I bet one more thing, but I'm just confirming here. I did not. Okay, cool. Cool. All right, perfect. Charbonnet. Anything else in this game? Just from my quick look over. No, we can move on here to another game where we jumped too early because of the circumstances here. The Chubb line, we'll check what it is, but I also bet, as you see right here, Cade Stover. I got 13-1. 11 to 1 at DK, 12 to 1 at MGM. So if you're going to bet it at MGM, but I just saw EV to Stover from the market. I got like I mentioned, 13 to 1. I still like it at 12 to 1. Let's just confirm with MGM that it's there. We know the Texans are not available. Is there any news? Let me check Underdog quickly. We'll try to populate that again, but the 11 to 1 at DK I think is still playable as a dig at 13 to 1. Share this new MGM tab. It's not there. Okay. Can try it the manual way, but if it's not there, it's not there. It's not there. Okay. Let's see. So much news. Darnell Mooney playing. Andrew Thomas inactive. That's good news for me as a Commanders fan, though I never want to see anybody injured. Godwin targeting week 5. Will Campbell is active for the Patriots. Chris Rodriguez healthy inactive for the Commies. So the Jacory Merced, the Big Bill, Love might be good there. Okay, not seeing any like pressing news from Underdog recently. Oh, Jameson Williams signed got a bag last night. Shout out to JMO. I love that. Did I bet anything else here? I bet the Rams team total under. Total points. Team. Where are we at? Team points. 23.5 minus 110. I'm curious if it's available still. I haven't checked since Friday's stream when we talked about it. Oh, that's Houston. It's at Hard Rock if you have a Hard Rock account. The minus 115 at MGM I think is still good compared to the market, though it's not good to Penny. Hard Rock it is still good. But I bet that a few days ago. So looking at like 2 cents of line value, which I'm never gonna, not be happy about ever getting some line value here. But that's the situation there for me. And this game, just doing a little check if there's anything else I missed. Because I have it written down of what I bet, and of course I have it written down for what we bet today on stream or what I'm giving out based on the numbers that are available. Some good line movement, some not so good, but again, we're not talking efficient markets here, so not losing any sleep either way. But we're almost through the board here. I did bet a parlay. I think I still have a boost on DraftKings. I used my FanDuel parlay boost, so we'll build that out together for Ravens Bills. Lions Packers. Call me crazy potentially, but I bet on where is he? Oh, player prop. I bet on Mr. Montgomery. Plus 170 now. What did I get it at? I want to see. David Montgomery anytime. I got 170. So same price I got it at. So we will gladly do this. Showing both unders, but I'll write it down. Monty TD plus 170. That's a fun one. And I also went ahead and did this. 1100 still there. I bet Monty first TD 11 to 1. That's the same price I got it. I was just looking at it. Actually, I bet 10 to 1. So better price. It moved a little bit against me, but still better than Circa, FanDuel, the rest of the books there. So still good to market, but David Montgomery first touchdown. I know the Packers are obviously supposed to be, their favorites here, projected to win. The Lions, I'm sure, are pretty square side. I think their offense might struggle early on, especially with, the coordinator shifts and everything that's going on. But with that being said, I just from the market like I'm betting the market there. So anything else? I'm just confirming on my end. I was intrigued actually. I did bet this very small as well. Another touchdown. We know what just look at the market here. 700. I got 750 actually, but I think 700 is still good. Emmanuel Wilson. I think he's RB2. I'm writing it down at 700. I think it's still bettable, but I saw some EV to Emmanuel Wilson. And as you see here, there still is EV to Emmanuel Wilson. Shout out to Pick the Odds for showcasing that. You can't see my mouse, but it's just 1.3% under. There we go. Some EV to Emmanuel Wilson, courtesy of Pick the Odds. Would not be able to find any of these odds as quickly as I have been finding them without Pick the Odds. But like I mentioned, I did bet already. One parlay for tonight's game on FanDuel, but I will bet another one right now with the boys for Sunday Night Football. And then we can, give ourselves like 30 minutes to do whatever pregame rituals you guys have for your favorite teams and get after it. But let's do it. My slip for tonight, the first slip I have, FanDuel 50% boost, is Ravens money line, which again is probably just a bad use of a boost in the first place, considering it's obviously the more efficient market. Derrick Henry over touchdowns, Keon Coleman over rec yards, Zay Flowers over receptions. That is 10-1 with the boost. But let me pull up DK on my phone here just for the ease of betting. I'll log it out of my other computer, and we'll see what we can get. Because I did not SGP boost, so we'll opt into that. We'll build something for this one. But I also did bet some other stuff that I will talk about. We'll go to what I bet already, and then we'll build that out. I told you that part. That's SGP again. That's just 50% boost, fun, very low max bet for me over at FanDuel and DraftKings. Still some EV overall. Quick digression because I want to bet this. Back to Jags Panthers. I already talked about how I took the over rushing yards for T-Law, but what about his tutty? What about a Trevor Lawrence touchdown? And I know you're going to see on Twitter all the slips of the, Brian Thomas with the Chuba Hubbard and all that. And of course it could be that simple, but we're seeing -4%. It is good to market, so I don't know how true that is, but I'm getting in on a T-Law tutty right now at 475. I think there's probably around 4% EV, like it's showing the negative. I don't know if that is true. I'm looking at my DK. It's there. I'm betting that. I'm writing it down. T-Law ATTS plus 475. So we have a bunch of plus money stuff. We have a bunch of fun bets for today. We have some, again, I hate using this word, but just for simplicity's sake, safer, as in, straight bets that we like. Chase Brown, tutty, Trevor Lawrence over rush yards, a bunch of game line bets that are efficient. So we're definitely not safe, but we hit a couple of these fun ones, and just like that, it's a hell of a week one Sunday. That's fun as hell. But back to the task at hand here. I'm all for Lamar winning this football game, but let's build out a boost parlay. Boosted parlay with DraftKings boost on Bills Ravens. Boost, let's read up on it. I have a max of $10. Woo. 25% has to be a 4-leg parlay. So DK for football is, saying I'm reading some of these. Sorry for this. I'm reading the quick SGP that DK's offering. Bills money line, James Cook tutty, Josh Allen 230 passing, Cook 60 plus rushing. No, thank you. So I already bet Derrick Henry anytime in the other parlay, but at 150, I want to check the market here because there actually is some EV to that. Believe it or not, where am I looking here? These are, I missed them. D Henry. It's slight. It's very slight, but it still exists. 2 plus 330, 380 at circa. So it's 1 TD or bust over at DraftKings. I already used it on the other FanDuel boost, so I don't want to double up just for the fun there. But let's see what we can find. DraftKings at least does have some good markets if you guys aren't limited there in terms of what you can SGP. Defensive props. Maybe there is a good defensive prop. Josh Allen did a great job avoiding sacks last year. Lamar obviously is very tough to take down there. But I'm very curious what tackles could look like in the market. Like Roquan Smith is going to be like this is just science at this point, and then we'll be more serious about it. But I'm just curious. There he is, Roquan. DraftKings is not showing here, but DraftKings does have a tackles market. So PTO, I'll get back some notes to them that they got to get some DK, but maybe it's because it says solo, though it should be the same market. It's like tackles plus assists. Let me go back to Roquan because that also exists on DK as well, but maybe because it's SGP only, it's not showing. I don't think it's not SGP only, but it's not like an over/under market, though they do show one-way market. So I'll get some notes back to the team to make sure that we get that going. Oh, maybe it's this. There we go. Okay. Tackles plus assists, Roquan. Like this is again just science here. Best odds would be at Caesars or Betway, actually, with a much better odds if your guys are in Canada. Interesting. Again, just checking out here, but yes, they have a tackles plus assists. So maybe they do have tackles, and I'm just going too quickly. It's not tackles solo. No. They have assists. All right. This is again just a curiosity check here. 6 sacks. Just sacks are fun, man. I know it's a tough one for sacks, but like Ed Oliver has the best odds at plus 298 at DraftKings. Where is he? This is just curious. 320 at MGM at 365. Over 0.5, 298, as you see. Over 0.25. So they do have a half a sack, which is nice to see. I'm not, again, like fiending for this market or anything like that. I'm just really genuinely curious. We'll go rec yards here. Trying to build out a beauty. I bet Zay Flowers again at the other parlay, but I think that they do target Zay. I went with receptions. But let's see what rec yards are. 58.5, so it's a higher hold, so not worth it compared to Circa. 50. They are hanging the best price for an alternate, so I'm gonna add that receiving yards there for Zay. I glossed over this, I think, but I did bet my boy Mark Andrews first. 14-1 at ESPN best odds. I'm writing that down. Andrews FTD plus 1400. I think I got a 13-1 at DraftKings. I'm logged out on my computer, so let me check here just for transparency's sake. 13-1. So that number that's still a DK bet, but of course, if you have ESPN, bet the better price there. So let's build out this this beauty. I'm obviously not going to include this in that, though. Let's see what the anytime odds are, because maybe it is a good price. 185, 190 at MGM. It is still a good price, actually. So let's I do actually like the under, and something I forgot to mention. I bet the first half under 25.5. We'll check those odds in a second, but I'm adding Mark Andrews anytime plus 185. Let's go to the first half total and see if that's still there. I bet 25.5 at even money. It's minus 108. High hold, still a good price. So maybe I would hold off. And I actually forgot there was one more that I bet. And that's San Francisco, Seattle first half under 22.5 minus 110. Unfortunately not there. That was over at MGM. So don't want to, take too much time. But I did bet the under in this game, like I talked about in the breakdown. I think it's a run-heavy game. I do have 2 tutties, both running backs, or all 3 of the 4 running backs. I have Brian Robinson tutty, Ken Walker, and David Montgomery. So I'm not David Montgomery. Zach Charbonnet. So I'm in on the running backs all except CMC, who's going to probably just score 3 and screw me over, screw this first half total, and kill any exposure I do have on Mr. Robinson there. But just did want to call it out just to showcase everything that I got. But back to the task at hand. So we have Flowers, 50 plus receiving yards, Mark Andrews touchdown. Stick to some player props for this SGP boost. Or some player props here. Let's see what we can get for You could do field goal props. As somebody who likes the under, I'm actually. Oh, they don't have anything for the Bills kicker on DK. Can't do any of those in most markets, or they're very fun markets. Rushing yards. Let's see what we can go through them. Ray Davis with the same price as Bookmaker, 16.5, though. Again, he's a backup running back, so don't know what he'll get from there. We also have Teron Johnson in the mix. It's a good receiving back. Hook, pricing wise, it's a yard over Circa and Penny, so don't want to mess with that there. Though we could bet the under, though it's worse price than Bookmaker. What's Teron Johnson? Something I've noticed, and I talked about on stream a week or so ago, probably 2 weeks or so ago at this point, is Lamar's passing game. He's going to pass a lot more here. I like some receptions for some. What's Bateman? This is a very Ravens heavy parlay because I like the Ravens here. I do like Keon Coleman as well. I actually want to look at his receptions first. It's 126 for 2.5, so it's not a good price. With the boost, it'll be better. Not going down to 2 at this number because it's not a good number. 3.5 is not good. So DraftKings is just like not giving us good prices this year. Like I want to be price sensitive, but at the same time, we are betting some fun stuff, so I don't want to like belabor any points here. Quick look at Underdog again, see if I missed any last minute news. What time is it? 12:26. Thielen will play in the slot, but won't play every snap. Cool, bro. Sick. Dawson Knox, not interested. Khalil Shakir, I know he was a little banged up. 4.5, 122. Let's go back to Keon. I bet Keon 36.5 receiving yards. 3 receptions. It's crazy how good some of these players are and Josh is, and just seeing these numbers because of how they spread the ball out. It's fun. But Ty Johnson, I'm interested in. Not even showing any receptions for him. Okay. Nuke. Don't want to have too many Ravens, as square as that sounds, because of course the Bills need to move the ball somehow. And of course they're very, very capable. What's James receiving yards? DK not even going until 12.5, but it is the best price at 12.5. Showing some value. Circa the best number there. Let's see what maybe some alts are because we are boosting. If we don't get the 10-1, which I like to do just for the fun aspect, maybe not. Who am I looking at here? James Cook. Yeah, the boost. You can do 15 plus a plus 107. What is that? This is the best price. But over under. We'll do James Cook here. I know Baltimore's pretty good with stopping runners out of the backfield, but I think they unleashed Jimmy, and that brings us to 750. So we need one more leg. I desperately kind of want to take what's his name? Just Derrick Henry Tutty. I already have it in the other one. But JA, passing T's. Just come on, man. Come on, DraftKings. What are you doing? Lamar, we do have the Andrews. I'm going Lamar 2+ passing TDs. It's gonna be bad for correlation here. Pass TDs OU just got checked 129, 128. So it's plus 100 with the boost. It's plus 1250. I'm in. Say Flowers 50+ receiving yards. Mark Andrews anytime. Lamar plus 2+ pass TDs. James Cook anytime TD plus 1250. I already used the FanDuel boost now. Shouldn't say regretting it per se because that's not true because we're talking about boosted parlays that are at low limits. But TKSNF boost. Okay. So that's it, boys. I'll read through everything we took so far. Only focus on what we bet today. Actually, I have it all written down, so I might as well. Colts money line, Atlanta money line, Giants Washington under 45.5. Rams team total under 23.5. And then what we bet today on stream. So I did bet also for game lines, Niners, Seahawks, first half under 22.5, Bills, Ravens, first half under 25.5. But the stream bets that we took together, long list. It's a fun list. A lot of touchdowns, a lot of fun here. Njoku tutty, Chase Brown tutty, Nick Chubb tutty, Trevor Lawrence 20+ rushing yards, Tyrone Tracy tutty, Deebo Samuel tutty, Luke McCaffrey tutty, Russ Wilson tutty, Bijan first tutty, Igbuka tutty, Michael Wilson tutty, Trey McBride tutty, Rashid Shaheed tutty, Justin Fields 2+ tutties, Daniel Jones first tutty, Daniel Jones anytime tutty, Kenneth Walker first tutty anytime tutty, Kate Stover anytime tutty, Monty tutty, Monty first tutty, Trevor Lawrence anytime, and Mark Andrews first tutty. So a lot of fun bets that we found using Pick the Odds, but maybe we can find a quick ARB so we can have some free cash for the game here using Pick the Odds. Of course, an amazing tool. If you guys aren't using Pick the Odds, I wouldn't be able to find these bets without Pick the Odds. I just want that to be clear. Of course, I am using some of my projections, my numbers, my thoughts, also some confirmation bias, like I said. But so I need to be clear here. This market, I'll pull it up so you guys can see why we're seeing so much EV and why are we not betting this? Because it's defensive player anytime tutty. Custom market for Hunter. I'm sure there are so many bettors out there. Sharp and swear. If you're a sharp bettor and you're doing what you should be doing with a tool like Pick the Odds, and you're just betting all the EV you see, and you see this is showing as an ARB here, but it was showing on my EV screen as well. You would get fooled because you're oh my god, EV, bet it. And a lot of times, of course, you do need to take a look at what you're betting because you're betting it. Even if you're a sharp, you want to look at what you're seeing, though. Of course, accidents happen, mistakes are made. We're all human here, but they created this market for Travis Hunter to score as a defensive player, so the EV is not real. This ARB is not real. Just funny, but no, we're not missing out on a beauty here. FanDuel is just trying to do what FanDuel can do once in a while and be a little bit what's the word? I was gonna say facetious. Does that kind of make sense here? But this is some tennis that happened already. Baseball, MGM and Hard Rock will do $100 just for ease of use. Free $7 to bet on. So I don't know what limits they're really going to take on these markets. So I think 100. If MGM's not taking $100 on something, which knowing them, they're probably not. Free 8s that you could put on some of the bets that we took, again, for fun, unless you want some $8 to cover your Uber Eats fees for today. Also a wise decision. But that exists there. Give you guys 12 seconds. Austin Martin, best part, I picked the odds. And you wouldn't see this ARB on the free version because it's 4.2%. It's capped at 2, but said this a million times, and I'll say it all football season long. You can quite literally pay for your first month using the free version with 2% ARBs in the course of 5 to 7 days. Then for the $129 a month, you can pay for that in the course of 48 hours with big ARBs that you'll see here live in pregame. And then from there, it's all gravy, and you're betting amazing EV that you can customize as well as free money with the ARBs. But we'll keep going. Hopefully some people got that in there. Another one to Hard Rock and ESPN. Again, Square Books. They're not taking 146, which they might not be. Also, make sure you bet if you're getting 850 here, put a $5 parlay on, the squarest bets on the board. Take Cardinals money line with Bengals money line, and just keep that account square. Bet a home run parlay. There's still baseball today. Speaking of baseball, I did bet one MLB play. We could talk about that in a sec, but gonna stick to some free money for the boys. Enough liquidity here for Jacory. The only problem is I don't even know what I could even think MGM would be taking. And you guys watching this Sharper stream with PTO, I'd hate to, or probably just have to assume, never like to assume, but you're probably like me and limited MGM to pennies. But if you're not, putting $50 on a touchdown on MGM on the over is going to be good for your account health. And Novig's never going to kick you out. So if you're not on Novig, promo code BetSmart ASAP, you'll get a $25 purchase match. So if you deposit 25s, use promo code BetSmart, you'll get a purchase match of 25. So 50 bones to start with. Good for account health. So I'm actually going to say this is a good thing to do. One, for the free fives, or even, I mean, if you're betting $100 on any time on MGM, they're going to love you. And liquidity is not there for everybody, unfortunately. I'm still working on liquidity at Novig, which is why you should sign up and add to that liquidity. But there is a free 10s out there, and it's good for account health. And with PTO, you literally have the 2 clicks, which I've shown a million times. Novig, though, they now have their amazing desktop interface. As you can see, I clicked and that is loaded there. But not available showing actually at MGM, unfortunately. Don't know what happened there. Maybe there's an MGM feed issue, but as you can see, Novig, all the markets, all the liquidity at the prices that they have, and you can get in and bet now, not app only anymore on desktop. Shout out to the Novig team, really big fans of their product and what they're doing for the space. Any other free money to be had? All of these are, though, again, we're looking at some books that aren't the best, unfortunately. Just look at this price, you're not going to be getting, especially if you're betting under on the market like this at DK. It's going to be bad for the account, though. Got to do what you got to do, and that Austin Martin is down to 2%. So, I mean, I had it paused. That's probably why it was gone. Maybe we just missed it. Too much yapping for me. But boys, we're gonna wrap it up. What a fun stream to kick off NFL Sunday. I will be streaming Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday, maybe Tuesday, maybe Saturday, TBD, but absolutely always streaming on NFL game days. And we got a ton of really great bets in using Pick the Odds. So shout out to Pick the Odds. I really appreciate everything from them. I appreciate everybody for tuning in because you guys make this as fun as possible to do. Like amazing fun. I hope everybody cashes. I hope if you guys are tailing what we have, that we have a fun, great day, and that you guys have your own slips. Next time, start sharing them. I want to bet with the boys. I want to sweat what you guys are sweating too. But it's really been a great stream. 20 minutes until kickoff. So have a great NFL Sunday. See you guys tomorrow. Best of luck.